Good afternoon, students. We will start with CSS today, the second part of your second unit. So, CSS stands for Cascading Style Sheets, and CSS is basically used to style your elements or to provide, to add colors, to provide a different kinds of fonts. So, we have already tried to make use of these things even with the help of HTML tags. But CSS will help you basically because you can just write a part of CSS which will try to cover the entire document or the number of elements, same number of elements that are present, that can be designed better in a better way with the help of CSS rather than HTML. So the first version of CSS came up in the year 1996 and second in 1998. So over a period of time, CSS 1, 2, 3 and the various versions have been released. Now, remember that from exam point of view, like for 2 marks, these questions could be asked what is CSS or expand CSS, right? And for what is the purpose of using CSS. Now, after this, let us see what are the different types of style sheets, or they are also called as the different levels or different categories. So basically, there are three. There are three levels. You have inline, document, or internal. Document level basically has another name also called as internal, and then you have external. So these are the three levels: inline, document or internal, and external. So these three range from the lowest to highest priority. So what is inline? When we talk about the inline level, we can say that it can apply only to a single element. So which is the single element here? It is going to be our HTML element, like, or the HTML tags, like you have the P tag, you have H1 tag. So for these tags, we can make use of the inline level. What is document level? It will apply to the whole body, and the external can basically, when we talk about external, you can apply it to any number of documents. That is, you will write a separate CSS file itself, and that CSS file you will try to import it within your HTML document. Okay. Before we cover the last point, that is the precedence, like if we are in a single document, you can also have inline style sheet and you can also have a document level or the internal level style sheet. So then which one will work or which one will be applied to the element? So that we will understand later. First, let us understand these three in detail. Okay. So we start with the inline style. That is, how do we try to specify or how do we try to apply different types of properties or different ways of CSS for a particular element. So when we talk about inline level, what is the syntax that we have to follow? For any element that you want to apply your CSS, you need to make use of this particular keyword or this property called as style. Okay, so you have to make use of this style for your respective element or for your respective tag. And in the double quotes, again, we specify the property and specify the value. So if you want to specify multiple properties and multiple values, you separate them by commas. Okay, we'll understand this with the help of examples. Now, you can see that, just read the first point here. This same example we will see. So for inline style sheets, we can add the style attribute to the relevant element. So element here, remember that they are nothing but your tags that you have studied in HTML. Okay, so that is for this particular P tag or for particular P element, I want to make the color to be red. So I need to first specify the style keyword, then equal to, and then in double quotes I need to specify what property I want to apply. I want to change the color. So I will say color colon, and this is the respective color that you want to change your font to, and then a semicolon. So here you can see for the heading, I have given two properties. One is the color is blue, and also I have given the text align to be center. So you need to remember that you should specify the properties and the attributes in double quotes. Okay. So how do we, first thing would be, you need to specify the property or the attribute name. then give a colon and then give its respective value. And if you have more number of such properties and values, just separate them with the help of a semicolon. Let us quickly see an example for the inline level. Okay, so to save time, I have already typed the program here. Have a look at the code. We within this, after the head section, inside the body section, okay, I have three different tags or three different elements. One is H1, H2, and the P, that is a paragraph tag. Now, even for the body tag, that is your HTML, where the code, entire code, or where you try to write, apply different formattings within for the elements that are present inside this body tag, right? So even for this body tag also I have applied a style attribute. So it means what? When I try to apply a style property for my body tag, whatever elements are present inside this body tag, for all of those, this background color is going to be applied, right? So you see here when we talk about inline, we are trying to specify the style property in the body section. We are trying to specify the style property in the body section. So I have said that I want the style background color has to be yellow. Okay, now have a look at the output here. So here you can see the background yellow color is covering the entire browser screen. Okay, so it means what? When I have applied this style property and the background to be yellow, whatever elements are present inside my body tag, to all of that background color is going to be yellow. So in a similar way, the properties that we have now here, we have H1, H2 and P. Not properties, the elements that we have here, three different elements we have. So H1 heading tag, I have said the style that needs to be applied is I want the text align to be center. Then I have specified here the color, the font color to be red. This is the second property and the value. Third one, I have given a font family, that is the what in which style the font should be written. Okay, so I have specified the font family. So now you observe here the different attributes or the different property names. You have text hyphen align, whereas in HTML we directly would write align. So you have text hyphen align, colon its value to be center. Then for background, for the font color, we directly have color and colon and the value. Then for the font family, we have also used font face before. So here we are for CSS, we write font hyphen family. And then we need to specify which font needs to be applied. So this is the H1 tag, opening tag here, and here I have just written the text and closed my H1 tag. So in a similar way, another H2 tag, and only the properties are changed here. The color for the text is changed, the text alignment is kept the same. So only two properties. The last one, paragraph tag, color is changed, font size is increased, and font family again is specified different or it is changed, and respectively the text is written and the tags are closed. So have a look at the output once again here. So you can see here these two, the text is aligned at the center. Here I have not specified any text alignment, so by default it is aligned to the left. Only the font style in which it is written and the color is changed here. Now if I go back to my file and I will remove the style that I have applied for the body part of this HTML. So now the entire document will not reflect this background yellow, right? So what we will try to do is, let us try to apply it here. So what was the property? Can you tell me? Background color. Let us try to give the same color. Is it correct? So you observe for which element we are getting the background now. We are getting the background only for the first element. Which is the first element? The first element that we have in our program is the H1. So what to be understood here is, when you make use of inline kind of a CSS, you need to specify it within your body tag or start from the body tag. We will not be specifying it in the head section. We will be specifying it in the body section. So the style attribute or the style property or the style keyword should be used after the element for which you want to apply the effects. So here I want to apply the effects for my H1 element. So I have specified the style property. And in the style property, after that in the double quotes, you need to specify the property colon the values which are separated by semicolons. So this is about inline style sheet. So with inline style sheet, you can, if you have say that you have more number of p tags, for each p tag you can apply a different kind of a font color, or you can go on changing its beautification. So that is why this inline is applicable, or you can say that whenever we make use of the inline, we will apply it only to the specific elements. So n number of, if you have 10 number of p tags, all the 10 p tags can be displayed in a different way. Okay, there is no generalization when we come to inline level. Next one, we have the document type, or we have the internal. It is also called as internal style sheet or document style sheet. Okay, so document style specifications appear as content of a style element within the header of a document. So where do we have to specify this document type or internal type of a style sheet? We will, first of all, we will be specifying it in the head section of the HTML document. So within the head section of the HTML document, we are going to make use of this again style tag. And inside this style tag, we will be specifying the different properties, attributes and the values that we want to apply for the elements. So you have to remember two things when it is for document level. Firstly, it is applied within the header section of the HTML document, within the style, opening style attribute or the opening style tag and the closing style tag. So just observe this particular slide here. So here you can see that here is the start of my head section, and here I have opened the style tag. Now within this, for which particular element, for which particular HTML element I want to apply that styling, that element should be mentioned. Okay, so this time I have specified here as a body tag. It could also be specified as a p tag or an q tag. So here we specify these brackets. Let us go back and have a look here at the same example. Okay, so you have studied different HTML tags now. So you can try applying for all. P for paragraph, Q is for block quotes, then Q is for those quotations that we want, then block quote tags we have, italics, underlines. So see what changes you can apply to those different elements. So have a look at this example here. The HTML document starts here. So within the head section, this is the head section. Let us check where the head section is ending. It's here. So within this head section, I have specified another tag, that is the style tag, opening style tag and the closing style tag. Within this, I need to specify my CSS code. So first one I have written is the body tag, or say it is a body element. For my body section of the HTML, I want the background color to be light blue. So where this, how does this work? Body element. So let us scroll down. So now this CSS will match here. For this particular tag, that effect background color blue is going to be applied. So if it is applying for the body, it means it will apply for all the elements that are present inside our body tag. Next. Now, I have a heading tag here in my HTML, and for that H1 tag, I want the color to be displayed in white. That is the text color, and I want the text alignment to be center. So now you observe how we are specifying the properties. We are not continuing them in the same line, or we are not specifying with double quotes. There is no double quotes, but we are making use of the element name opening and closing flower bracket, and within that we are specifying the attribute and its respective value. So likewise, first have a look at this HTML. I have one heading tag and I have three p tags, that is three paragraphs. Okay, this is the only content of the HTML here. One heading tag and three paragraph tags. So now here what I have done is, for the heading tag I have said you apply the this background, the text color to be white, text aligned to the center. So any number of H1 tags you have, this same properties will be applied. Likewise, I have three P tags, but I have just specified one element P. So how it reads, you have any number of P elements here, these same properties will be applied. The same font family and same font size will be applied for each of these P elements. So this way CSS is more helpful rather than HTML, trying to specify or trying to, whenever you talk about beautification of the page, CSS will be more handy. So any number of P tags I can have, all I have to do is just apply these two lines, automatically it will be applied to all the P tags. I do not have to go on specifying for each of these elements, right? So let us have a look at the code for this. For the output of this code, see, you observe here, this was my heading tag, which the color is displayed in white and center aligned. Also I had given the body, for the body tag, the background color to be blue. So the entire browser screen where the body is displayed or the content is displayed for the HTML page is blue. Three paragraph tags, all the three paragraph tags are displayed in the similar way. So your internal type of a style sheet or document level style sheet will allow you to style n number of elements in the similar way. Will help you to style any number of similar elements in the similar way. With this, we have the last one, that is external level style sheets. So external style sheets are like you have to write a separate document, save it as a .css, and then try to import it in your HTML page. So for that, these two lines are important. Okay, this one or this one. Any of these two you can make use of. So what is this MIME type to be text slash CSS? So what is this link relation? So what is this telling is, link relation will try to tell that we are trying to import a style sheet, which means it is of type CSS. Your document could contain a text or it can contain CSS code. Then href is the attribute, that is from whether if you store it in a separate folder, you give that entire path, or it is from the browser, you give the URL, or you can directly specify directly if it is in the same folder, you just give the file name. Okay, have a look at this example here for the external. So one file contains .html and this is my file which contains only CSS. So this file is saved as .css. So what is there in .css? Only the CSS code. And here in the HTML we have only the tags. So let us go through this. Within the head section, one title, and this statement link relation is to be specified whenever you make use of external style sheets. This is to be specified in your head section. So here I am telling that I am trying to relay this HTML document. I want this HTML document to be linked to this CSS document. Okay, so that is style sheet. That is, I am trying to link HTML and CSS together. Then type will tell you again this document can contain text, because we basically write tags in terms of a normal English form, which sometimes you also, if you are saving it as a .txt which contains images, which will contain multimedias or simple paragraphs. So that is why text slash CSS. CSS is where there is code of CSS. Then href, you can remember this. We will specify the file name from which we want to import our code, or from the file from which we want to import our tags that we have written to be applied. So here I am saying first.css. So this is first.css. Now, in this body section, I have just two h1 tags and one p tag. Okay. So now, for these h1 tag and p tag, what are the different ways I can apply CSS? So again, have a look at the code here. For the entire body section, background color is given. For the h1 tags, same effects are going to be applied. We have two h1 tags here. Both h1 tags will have the same color and the same alignment. Then one p tag, for that I have given font family, font size and margin left. So this margin left property will leave a little space from your left end of the browser. So now when you run, you have to run your HTML file. So remember that whenever you have make use of external style sheets, your HTML and CSS file both should be saved within the same folder. Otherwise, you have to give your the entire path instead of just giving the file name. So you can see here H1, both the H1 tags have same effect, and this is the P tag. Another file I have, the use of external style sheets is you can have any number of HTML pages and you can access the same CSS file. So this is one file where I have accessed my CSS, another one I have here. Okay, so the same CSS file is accessed here. Only two P tags are there. There is no H1 tag. So the same CSS effect will again be applied to this. So the use of external style sheets is you can have one CSS file applied to different or n number of HTML files. So these are the three different levels of style sheeting or cascading style sheets. So any